Anyway, let's see what Bilbo Maher had to say.
The strike is a perfect example. Those guys would never go back. This strike could go on till the 24th century. They would stay out. I feel for my writers. I love my writers. I'm one
But, first of all, but is coming. Okay, let's hear it.
of my writers. But there's a big other side to it, and a lot of people are being hurt besides them. A lot of people who don't make as much money as them in this bipartisan world we have.
Yeah, dude, famously, Bill Maher cares about those people. Bro, are you talking about fucking Key Grips and Best Boys and shit? Because, like, hey, guess what? Those guys are a part of unions too, and they demonstrate solidarity. So where the fuck are you with that solidarity? Oh my God, dude. What a bitch. He's such a
where you're
bitch.
just in one camp or
I really hope SAG-AFTRA fucks him for this, okay? I really hope that they just rip him a new asshole. I hope the WGA rips him a new asshole. You know he can't stop. He will never shut the fuck up. He's a major contrarian and super self-entitled, smarmy, annoying liberal elitist. So you know that the WGA, if they make a comment about this, he's just going to go balls to the wall and double down, triple down, and just start shitting on the WGA, which will hurt him in the long run, for sure.
Or the other. There's no in between. You're either for the strike, like they're Che Guevara out there, you know, like this is Cesar Chavez lettuce picking strike, or you're with Trump. You know, like there's no.
God, he's so good. There's no nuance to it. There's no nuance to the strikes.
Different. There's only two camps, and it's much more complicated than that.
It is, but I do feel like there is a lot of the points, a lot of the grievances I kind of agree with.
I do understand.
Yeah, of course Jim looks uncomfortable because, one, no matter how successful you get, you probably still remember the early days. And two, like, there's a reason why a lot of the famous top billing actors and writers are routinely on the fucking picket lines. Because, one, they understand the importance of solidarity and how much the union helped them out early on. And two, the union also probably has them in a vice grip too, because it's a very successful union ultimately. I know that it's not that successful in comparison to other unions in other countries, but in America, where there is no union participation, it's like 10%, it's definitely a decently powerful union in comparison to the rest of the labor force.
And that they're getting screwed a bit by the streamers, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a change.
Oh, they're screwed a bit by the streamers. Okay, so what's the restitution? How do you fix the problem?
And you either, you know, it's like anything that is, you know, I believe in free market, but I also believe in trust and then verify, right?
What does that mean?
Meaning, you know, you don't trust, you know, like the reason, I mean, Zaslav made $400 million, and I think they're looking for 80 million for, you know, it's like they're gonna, you know, you leave a kid in front of a bowl of marshmallows, they're gonna eat the marshmallows. It's not.
The materials analysis here is, yeah, these are their profits that the writers and the actors participated in generating. They want a piece of that pie. That's what unions are there for, and it makes sense.
Like some grand thing. It's,
well, I don't know. What are you saying? They're only asking for $80 million?
Well, I'm saying
they're asking for a lot of things.
They're asking for a lot of things.
Like kooky. Like what I find objectionable.
Yeah, I want to hear what he finds objectionable.
About the philosophy of the strike. It seems to be they have really morphed
Oh, he was saying Zaslav is the marshmallow eater. Okay, I misunderstood.
a long way from 2007 strike.
How do you say that they've come a long way from the 2007 strike when, like, that was nearly identical? Like, the terms were nearly identical last time the writers strike, and that time it was an additional revenue for strategy that the studios were utilizing. The Writers Guild strike back then was about, again, residuals from additional revenue sources that the studios had shut them out of, DVDs and whatnot. And it was setting the stage earlier for, I guess, maybe not streamers in general, but for the internet as well. But mostly for DVD sales, because that was another mechanism of distribution for the studios, and they were cutting them out. It is identical in this situation. It's just streamers. Now it's, instead of the distribution model now revolves around streamers.
Kind of believe that you're owed a living as a writer, and you're not. This is show business. This is a make or miss league.
I hate that. It's not about fucking, oh God, I hate that so much. Oh, you just make it or break it. Like, you're not supposed to make a living wage. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? If you are participating in a fucking product that is generating millions of dollars, you deserve a larger piece of that fucking pie so you can survive and go beyond survival, as a matter of fact. You deserve the value that you generate. Due to your participation, these studios are making money. Due to your labor, these studios are making money. Those wages should be fair. Those benefits should be fair.
And not everybody.
You don't think that like that streamers should reveal numbers so that they can?
Oh, maybe.
Things?
Sure.
He never fucking mentions what he finds objectionable, which is very frustrating. All right, some good news.
Strike in the auto industry. 150,000 workers poised to walk out. That could cost the big three automakers billions, send shockwaves through the broader economy.
The union demanding a 46% pay raise, a 32-hour work week, and a return of traditional pensions. Automakers Ford, GM, and Jeep maker Stellantis say those demands are unrealistic. President Biden, who bills himself as a pro-union president, downplaying the threat. Fain's response?
I'm shocked by that reaction. He must know something we don't know. Our intent is not to strike. Our intent is to get a fair agreement.
Listen, Brandon himself might not necessarily be pro-union, okay? But his fucking NLRB is cooking. You can't deny it. I'm not going to sit here and fucking act like Brandon's NLRB ain't doing some good-ass shit right now. He himself personally has been involved in the union negotiations that he stopped in the past. Not that long ago, actually. But having said that, NLRB's doing some good-ass shit.
W went on strike. It was 2019. It lasted 42 days, and it was specifically against General Motors. That cost the automaker $3.6 billion. This time, economists estimate that a strike lasting just 10 days would cost the U.S. economy at least $5 billion, and it would have ripple effects, everything from the manufacturers to dealerships like this one behind me to consumers who would pay a higher price for their cars because supplies are already constrained.
We've seen a decade of record profits. I mean, our members made massive sacrifices. We were blamed for everything that was wrong with these companies back in the...
Guys, here's yet another fucking, liberal. I hate these guys with their cushy liberal Hollywood elite jobs. Okay. Oh, what is he? I bet he's like a writer or something, right? Probably, what is he? A Starbucks guy? Classic. Hate these blue-haired liberal social justice warrior lazy bones who's just asking for way too much. Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, I'm hearing that he's the president of what? Wait, of liberalism? No. Oh, the UAW. Oh, that's right. He's representing the interests of motherfucking workers that make vehicles. Okay. So where are all the aesthetic lovers out here that are like, oh, when Starbucks unionizes, they're gay and they're libtards? Where were they at during the UPS shit? Okay, when the Teamsters were talking about possibly doing a strike, and where are they at now? For the record, these guys have said time and time again that the same issues that the WGA and SAG-AFTRA and everyone else are fighting for are the exact same reasons why they are fighting. Their cause is just, and they're united on this front, and they have the exact same class interests. Just remember that. It's a lot harder to look down on auto workers than it is retail workers. Yeah, I mean, straight up.
The recession, which was wrong, it was false. It's one of the biggest lies ever told. And so, this is our time to after a decade of hard work by our members and massive profits and continued massive profits, $21 billion in the first 6 months of this year between the big three, our workers deserve their share of equity in this, and they're not getting it. So, yeah, we've made some progress, but our members have high expectations, as they should, and we plan on delivering.
In this situation, the impact of a strike costing the American economy $5 billion isn't a bad thing. It's the threat of the $5 billion that should force the big three auto manufacturers to immediately try to meet their demands.
What will the next few days look like in terms of negotiating?
The committees are hard at it. They're going to be in there just as they have in the vice presidents. They're going to be working hard, pushing the companies, and I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the companies to reach out. I'm waiting for the leadership to want to start moving. And when that happens, we will. But so far, that hasn't happened. So. I heard this saying once that every billionaire is a policy failure. Truer words have never been spoken. Billionaires, in my opinion, don't have a right to exist. The very existence of billionaires shows us that we have an economy that is working for the benefit of the few and not the many. I say the same's true for poverty wages and long hours. We need to wipe them out. The labor movement once fought for a vision of work life in which everyone had 8 hours for work, 8 hours for rest, and 8 hours for recreation. Sadly, it feels like we've gone so far backwards that we have to fight just to have the 40-hour work week back. Why is that? So another asshole can make enough money to shoot himself to the moon? You know, I heard this saying once that every billionaire is a policy failure.
It's fucking awesome. He's great. I mean, these guys are all great. The UAW's filed unfair labor practice charges against GM and Stellantis for refusing to bargain in good faith. Shawn Fain, the president of UAW, says neither Stellantis nor GM have provided any economic counterproposals. The contract for 150,000 auto workers expires in 2 weeks. Ford, the only company that offered counters, proposed a 9% wage increase over 4 years, no cost of living adjustments, and no caps on the use of temp workers. If Ford thinks we will accept a single-digit pay increase and no cost of living allowance, then I hope these shareholders know how to work on an assembly line, because those are going to be the only people left to build cars come September 15th. Woo!
That's why today our union filed unfair labor practice charges, or ULPs, against both GM and Stellantis with the National Labor Relations Board. Unfortunately, many employers across the country are willing to break the law and incur the meager fines and penalties that result as just the cost of union busting.
I bought Ford stock because I think the electric F-150 will sell a lot. Please stop encouraging this. Listen, partner, they better start paying them well.
While it's important, we always defend our rights and seek assistance from the Labor Board in holding companies like GM and Stellantis accountable. At the end of the day, our strongest line of defense is each other and our ability to take collective action.
Better get ready to learn how to fucking build a car, buddy. Remember when John Deere made their accountants or whatever try to run the production floor? I do remember. I think they almost died. A bunch of people's lives were put in jeopardy due to that situation. Ford is doing that. Ford is secretly training white-collar employees for warehouse work at the UAW strikes. That's so stupid. They're going to get cooked. But what will Bill Maher have to say about the UAW strike? Fucking lazy ass. They want too much. America's given them so much, and yet they want more. Do you see the guy in the third world complaining about their conditions? I don't know. I don't fucking know. That's what... Just wait, dude. I think a big part of my mentality is that I think a big part of the reason why there's like a lot of labor momentum and not necessarily a lot of pushback from mainstream media is because labor has had no fucking power for far too long, and the media forgot the common tropes and the narratives that they engage in to like immediately get the public to have a negative perception of labor unions. Doesn't sending better paid and compensated workers into SCAV justify the reasonableness of the union demands? The fact that they literally hire a bunch of lawyers on retainer that they spend hundreds of millions of dollars on collectively to engage in union busting practices is reason enough to understand that unions represent a dire threat to the capital owner and their interests. If unions didn't work, they wouldn't work so goddamn hard to make sure that they don't exist.